Therefore, dear brothers, whom God has set apart for himself, you who are chosen for heaven, I want you to think now about this Jesus, who is God's messenger and the high priest of our faith. For Jesus was faithful to God who appointed him high priest, just as Moses also faithfully served in God's house. But Jesus has far more glory than Moses, just as a man who builds a fine house gets more praise than his house does. And many people can build houses, but only God made everything. Well, Moses did a fine job working in God's house, but he was only a servant, and his work was mostly to illustrate and suggest those things that would happen later on. But Christ, God's faithful Son, is in complete charge of God's house, and we Christians are God's house. He lives in us. If we keep up our courage firm to the end and our joy and our trust in the Lord, and since Christ is so much superior, the Holy Spirit wants us to listen to him, to be careful to hear his voice today and not let our hearts become set against him as the people of Israel did. They steeled themselves against his love and complained against him in the desert while he was testing them. But God was patient with them 40 years. Though they tried his patience sorely, he kept right on doing his mighty miracles for them to see. But God says, I was very angry with them, for their hearts were always looking somewhere else instead of up to me, and they never found the paths I wanted them to follow. Then God, full of this anger against them, bound himself with an oath that he would never let them come to his place of rest. Beware then of your own hearts, dear brothers, lest you find that they too are evil and unbelieving and are leading you away from the living God.